Welcome to Tamara Research Writing Guides. I'm Ada, your AI-supported instructor. In this video, we will learn an essential writing skill, writing a compare and contrast essay. Subscribe now and never miss our essay writing guides. In academic writing, a comparison essay focuses on exploring the similarities and differences between two subjects. These essays are common in high school and university. Remember, comparing and contrasting are two different things. So you'll need to choose whether you want to highlight similarities or differences. Now that we know what a compare and contrast essay focuses on, let's see an example essay to see its main sections in detail. As you can see, this example focuses on the similarities and differences between online and classroom learning. It starts with a hook sentence that introduces the reader to the subject. This is used to encourage the readers to keep reading. Then, the writer gives background information on the subject to make it more clear. In the third sentence, we see the thesis statement, which is the most important part of the introduction. Here, writer highlight the main argument of their essay. Lastly, the writer uses a signposting sentence, where they mention what will be highlighted in the essay. Let's move on with one of the body paragraphs. It starts with a topic sentence where the writer tells the basics of classroom learning. Then, the writer focuses on the main benefits of classroom learning so they can compare it with online learning in other body paragraphs. Lastly, we see the part where the limitations of classroom learning are mentioned briefly. You need both pros and cons of your subject in a body paragraph. The writer follows the same path for online learning. So let's jump to the conclusion. The conclusion starts with a brief summary of the comparison. Remember, you only need to highlight the main differences or similarities here, so don't go into detail. Then, the writer rephrases the thesis statement to remind the reader about it. Lastly, we see that the essay ends with a strong concluding sentence, used as an opportunity to provide a final comment. We now know what a fully written comparison essay looks like, so let's see how to write one by starting with choosing our topic. In a compare and contrast paper, you'll need two subjects that share certain similarities despite their differences. Let's look at some examples. Digital marketing versus conventional marketing. Romanticism and modernism. Roman Empire and Greece. You might have realized that these topics have two subjects that have some things in common even if they are different. Once you've chosen your topic, make a list of both the similarities and differences. Visualizing this information will help you create well-organized academic essays. After listing the differences and similarities, it's time to establish your main argument and prepare an outline for your essay. Review your list and select the most impactful difference to serve as your thesis statement. This will captivate your audience's interest. Now you have your thesis statement, it's time to prepare the outline. You can use a traditional outline structure seen in the example. This follows the common 5-paragraph comparison paper structure, which consists of introduction, body, and conclusion. For longer essays, add more comparison paragraphs. You can see the outline of our example essay to get a better idea. As you can see, it highlights the main sections of the essay and each part of the paragraphs. With our helpful outline, we can now start writing the introduction. In the introduction paragraph, your goal is to engage the reader with an attention-grabbing hook, provide relevant background information, and introduce your thesis statement. Let's see an example introduction. It starts with a hook sentence that aims to involve the reader and get in a conversational tone with them. This is followed by some background information on the subject to familiarize the reader with our topic. In the last sentence, we see the thesis statement where the writer explains the main idea and argument of the essay. Now that we are all done with the introduction, let's see how to write a body paragraph. Body paragraphs are the key section of your essay, and most of the time, you will need 3 body paragraphs. You can follow a general structure when writing one. In your body paragraphs, make sure to reference your main subjects, use real-life experiences to boost your arguments, and add relevant statistics to the comparison when possible. In this example body paragraph, we see that it first states a common ground between the two subjects they focus on in the essay. Then, it evaluates the first subject on this common ground. Lastly, the paragraph is concluded with the evaluation of the second subject in regard to the design, which was our common ground. We are almost done. Let's see how to write the conclusion, which will be the last part of our essay. The conclusion part of your essay aims to summarize the main points, restate your thesis statement, and state your final thoughts on the topic. This structure is almost always the same for all types of essays. Our example conclusion starts with the restatement, the sentence where the writer mentions their thesis statement again. The second sentence is the summary, a quick recap of the comparison. And lastly, the concluding sentence is where the writer gets a chance to highlight their final thoughts. With a proper conclusion paragraph, you have yourself a well-structured compare and contrast paper, so congratulations. But as a final tip, don't forget to read your essay once more to catch any possible mistakes before delivering it. That's all we have for today. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications to watch our essay writing guides. I'm Ada from Tamara Research, and I'll see you in the next video.